Since I'm doing safety videos, talk a little bit about safety. Your head is the biggest thing to remember. Is your brain is going to ride, may help you ride safe. So you can have all the equipment in the world, and if you don't use your brain, you're probably not going to be successful. So there's only four things you really need as far as safety stuff to ride bikes. The main thing is a helmet. Always wear a helmet. And I recommend a helmet that has MIPS. And what that is it's got this cage inside. So if you do fall, this cage kind of breaks away, and that will keep you from getting a concussion. Well, I'm not saying it's going to prevent it, but it minimizes the risk. The other thing to look for is inside a helmet, you'll see a born on date in here. Like this helmet is made in 2014. Generally, helmets are good for 2 or 3 years, depending on how often you use them. What happens is the styrofoam inside gets brittle, and then it reduces the effectiveness of the helmet in the event of a crash. So if you do go out helmet shopping, though, all helmets are going to be safe. So it doesn't really matter if you buy a $160 helmet or a $30 helmet. They all provide about the same level of safety. The expensive helmets will give you more air vents, and they're maybe cool looking, and they're lighter, and they may fit better. So those are the things to kind of know about helmets. So buy a helmet, always wear it. Get rid of it if it's too old. Don't keep it very long. The next thing is a bright colored jersey. I've got this bright yellow one I wear from time to time. So a bright colored jersey, you know, that you're a little more visible. So wear one of those. Then always wear lights. So I've got two lights here. This is the rear light, and I use it. And the thing about the rear light is it's probably the most important, and I like this one because it charges with a USB port, so I can always charge it up, and it's also portable. It has this little strap on here, and I can take it on different bikes. So if I ride one bike, I can use it on it, and then I can just take it off and put it on another bike, so I don't need a whole bunch of different lights. Same thing with the front light. You want a front light too, so that cars can see you coming, especially if you're riding out in those lanes that we're talking about. And again, this is the same sort of thing. It has a rubber thing that goes around the handlebars, and it helps keep it portable, so I can use it from one bike to another bike, and that's pretty cool. The other thing, I usually wear gloves, and in the event of an accident, you know, you don't tear up your hands when you go down, but to me, whether you wear gloves or don't wear gloves, that's kind of a personal preference, so it's kind of up to you. I don't wear a mirror. A lot of people like wearing mirrors that fit on your helmet and you can see behind you. And I have worn mirrors in the past, but I can see cars, but I can't tell if the cars are going to hit me in the mirror. So all it does is freak me out when I'm riding. So I don't wear a mirror, but I mean, a lot of people swear by them. So if you're one of those kind, great, wear a mirror. But that's about it for safety equipment. And we'll continue on with the video and show some more stuff about riding on a bike lane.
During this segment, I'm going to talk about riding on a bike path. You may think riding on a bike path is a lot safer than riding on the road, but it does have its own specific hazards. Driver focus is usually not on the bike path. That's one of the big issues. The second one is you've got to share the right-of-way with other users, walkers, kids, dogs, that kind of thing. So one other deal is avoid high speeds. Bike paths are built for getting around town and taking it casual. So if you're out there to get a big workout in, maybe a bike path isn't the right place to be. Bike paths are great. You can cruise along and just ride down your own lane. You don't have to worry getting run down by cars, and they're just fantastic for bicycling. This may be the biggest hazard when you're bicycling on a bike lane or anywhere as far as I'm concerned. You're riding along and a car is going to they're stopped at the light, they're going to make a right turn. They are not looking at a bicyclist. Their focus is looking for oncoming traffic. They're stopped, they're planning to make a right turn. They're not even looking to the right, they're looking to the left, looking for automobiles that are coming along so they can make their free right turn. So just know that the motorist is not looking at you. So in this situation, pull into the intersection very cautiously. Make eye contact with the driver. You might even wave at them so they know that you're coming. So avoid these circumstances at high speeds. Go very, very carefully. Here I am pulling into this intersection. I see the green light and I'm thinking it's okay to go, but bang, this car pulled right out in front of me. So this is the kind of thing you can expect. In this situation, the rider is riding on the bike path with the direction of traffic, but because the bike path is set apart from the traffic lane, drivers aren't always seeing the bicyclist. So in this case, the driver's looking over here where they're going to be driving. They maybe think they've passed the bike rider, or maybe they didn't even see the bike rider when they did pass them. So they go ahead and make their right turn, and that's when you're going to be in trouble. So before you pull into this intersection, look over your left shoulder, see if there's any oncoming traffic. Again, go very cautiously and very carefully through this intersection. Cars making left turns in front of the bicyclist can happen as well. So this is similar to just riding in a bike lane, but because the path is set apart from traffic, it's even more hazardous. So when you're going through the intersection, make sure you're looking for people turning left in front of you. You do share the bike lane with other users, runners, dogs, kids, all that kind of stuff. So just know that there's all kinds of people out on the bike lane sharing it with you. Just like cars share the road with bicyclists, bicyclists share the road with other users. So you, as a bicycle rider, yield to all these people. You'll yield to runners, dogs, and kids. So on a bike lane, I would suggest your speed should be no greater than 15 miles an hour. And be prepared to slow down and yield the right of way to other users. So when you're passing a runner or walker on your left, and know that there might be dogs and kids and all that kind of stuff, and be a nice bicyclist. When passing a runner, make sure you always call out on your left to go around them. And some runners have earphones in, and that's okay. Those runners are experienced. They're going to hold their line. So just go ahead and say on your left, and don't wait till you get right up behind them, or don't yell and startle them. So just on your left, be a nice bicyclist and tell them you're coming on the left and let them know you're coming. That's always the thing to do here.
On your left, on your left.
When riding, dogs are going to chase you. That's just the nature of a dog. They're going to chase you. They're Bart Wolf. They're going to chase you, and they might even bite you if they're territorial. So there's a couple things you can do that I've used. I can sprint most dogs. So unless it's one that just comes right out and I don't see it, but generally I see it in the distance and I'm ready, and when the dog comes out I can sprint. And then I yell, "No! No!" in a loud, authoritative voice. That startles them. And then the third thing I can do is spray the dog with water hydration. You know, it's really not the dog's fault. It's the owner's fault if a dog chases you. So the best thing you can do is be prepared. Try one of these three things, and they seem to work for me most times. I am freaked out about dogs. I'll admit it. I'm scared of dogs. I've seen them run into bikes and have a guy fall over. And that's usually what happens, is they'll T-bone you and knock you down. So if you're in balance and ready and prepared for it, you can survive it.
No! No!
When you're riding down the bike path and you see children on their bikes swerving all around and everything, just be nice to them. Call out on your left. That may force them to go left. So slow down, go carefully, and pass them with a kind heart. Nice bike, or I like your helmet, that kind of thing. Encourage kids. That's what we want. We want more bicyclists.
On your left, guys, on your left.
What?
I hope you enjoyed episode 2 as much as I enjoyed putting it together. The next one I'll be talking about will be riding on a single lane road without a shoulder. So this is a big deal where you ride just out in the country, riding along, and I'll talk a little bit about the best way to do that. I hope you enjoy the videos as much as we enjoy making them, but I'd appreciate it if you'd go ahead and subscribe to the channel, Me&B Productions. I appreciate it, and the more views I get, the easier it is for me to do this. And go ahead and provide feedback. Thanks.